Williams,
Here.
Cruz,
Here.
Farrell, and Commissioner Roach and is out today, and we'll see if Commissioner Lyons actually appears. There's no pledge of allegiance, and so that being, I'll ask for a motion to accept the minutes of the regular board meeting held on July 16th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Or is the chief going on the call today? Chief?
No, unfortunately, he's unable to do it.
So,
Commissioner Lyons called me right now.
okay.
Excuse me.
In the meeting,
uh,
not hearing me. I'm watching. everything
Commissioner
going on.
Farrell.
He's here. I see him.
Commissioner Farrell, did you quote July 16th minutes or July 24th?
That's July 16th.
Okay.
Let the record reflect that Commissioner Lyons is present. Madam Clerk, we don't have anything from the union today.
No, sir.
Internal Affairs,
They said they'll join you next month for the quarterly.
thank you. And then 2D, if we take the clerk's report,
We have one Barros hearing that we need to schedule. I did speak to Lieutenant Rosum. He stated that he might have this one should be a quick one, and then he might have a couple more quick ones done if we want to combine them together. So if we want to try to plan for end of September or early October, unless you just want to get this one done and then we can have multiple meetings. It's up to you guys.
anybody got any position on that? Commissioners?
No, maybe we can run some dates if we're talking about September. 2 days. I know you need a 2-week notice, so maybe mid-September.
I know the investigator, Sergeant Taylor, for the one that is ready. Her easiest days are Wednesdays and Thursdays because of childcare.
Okay. So,
Wednesdays are my early day at work, so I can make it at 6. Thursday I work till 8.
how
Tuesdays I'm
about
booked.
how about the 18th? Is that, do we want to do it sooner? That's a Wednesday, September 18th.
I'm not available on Wednesdays. I teach on Wednesdays now.
Oh, okay.
And Thursdays are Commissioner Diaz?
Thursdays I get out at 8, so it's hard for me.
But you're available on Wednesday, and Commissioner Cruz, you're available.
Wednesdays and Tuesdays are good for me.
Yes.
I'm available on Wednesday. Commissioner Lyons
I'm good.
for the 18th?
I'm good.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. And if for some reason your class gets canceled, Commissioner Williams, if you want to join us on the 18th, that'll be great.
I shall, but I teach, so I know it won't unless I cancel it.
Okay. Well, I'm not asking you to cancel your classes. All right, so can we look at the 18th, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. That would put us 2 days in a row, as long as everyone's good with that. We'll have our regular meeting on the 17th and then the Barros on the 18th.
Oh,
Any
yeah.
obje-
No.
Any objections, Commissioner Diaz, Lyons?
No, I'm good with it.
No, I'm good with that.
All right, so we're all good with that, Madam Clerk.
Okay, I'll check with everyone else and I'll make sure you all know. Thank you.
Thank you. New business, request from Councilperson Anita Martinez to address the board regarding tractor trailers and obstruction of view issues.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you.
Hi, Councilwoman, how are you?
Good evening, Cal.
Good.
Good evening.
So, as you know, the tractor trailers continue to be an issue in the city. The kids are going back to school. I'm very concerned because the East End has an increase number of tractor trailers on residential, on state roads, which I'm being told that there's a protocol to ticket them, I believe, from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. My concern with that is that due to the shortage we have in police officers right now, ticketing tractor trailers is not a priority, but it's critical because it's important. And let me just say this. Over on Carroll Avenue, I live on Wilmont Co-op, coming from out of my parking lot, which ends me into Carroll Avenue. And I was shooting across Carroll Avenue the other day, and a kid was under the freaking tractor trailer with his bike. And if that
Wow.
truck was to take off, he would have never seen that kid under that trailer. You know, kids are curious to want to know things. We don't know what was I don't know what was going through that kid's mind. But I literally got out of my car and told him to get from under there. And he was in a tricycle. He had training wheels still on his bike.
Hmm. Oh, you mean he
And I
was
was
just
like,
sitting there at the sidewalk or
was-
underneath laying down?
No, he was underneath the trailer. He was underneath the trailer. He was hiding from his brother. They were
Oh.
playing hide.
Okay.
But if
Wow.
that, to my point, is if this truck was not on a residential street, literally parked right on Carroll, that was a big concern for me. And I'm scared that these kids are either going to get hit by a tractor trailer on the East End. I mean, we had Raymond O'Leary's son. His grandson was killed on Stratford Avenue by a tractor trailer. Tractor trailer was turning on Stratford Avenue onto Hollister and never saw him on his bike, and he killed him.
Hmm.
So I'm just concerned about all these tractor trailers and just continuing to park on these side streets. I mean, it's bad. Maybe you guys should drive through Connecticut and Florence, DeForest, DeKalb, Carroll, between Connecticut and Waterman. It's like really, really bad. These aren't like commercial areas. These are like highly residential areas.
Are you suggesting that the drivers live in the vicinity and are parking their own tractor trailer?
I don't think so, Commissioner Cruz, because on Florence and Connecticut Avenue, I literally left my council card on his window, and he called me and he said that that's where his significant other picks him up at, and she meets him there. He lives in Rhode Island.
But he
and
uses
she-
a tractor trailer.
Because his stop, he said his runs they start in Fairfield, Norwalk, Stanford, and his last drop is in New York. So he parks his truck there.
Right, but if you're saying a significant other is coming and he's coming from Rhode Island, so significant other must live nearby.
No, the significant other lives in Rhode Island, picks him up there because he said his stop is Fairfield. He gave me like the breakdown of his stop, which is fine for him, but not fine for us on the East End. Park your truck somewhere else.
Tell them to park it in Fairfield
Yeah.
Or Norwalk.
or Norwalk.
Well, he can't, Commissioner, because they'll tow it. See, Bridgeport
Well,
doesn't
that's
have-
why he's saying that.
Yeah, exactly. Bridgeport doesn't have that capacity to tow these trucks. So, and these truckers know it. So they just park it where they know
Mhm.
you're not going to get a ticket. It's not going to be enforced. We're fine. Just leave it there. They'll shut up after a while. It's just too dangerous for me. I swear I hate to see a kid get killed or a pedestrian get hit by a tractor trailer. It's just increasing in the residential area.
So there's not a stipulation. I mean, I know a lot of people drive tractors, right? We even provide the training in town. They're allowed to keep their tractors overnight and not park it back at the business.
Those are those who do long hauls, but it doesn't mean that they park it in their residence, is what the councilwoman is saying. You can take those is that, you know, you have a long haul, but you have to park it in the appropriate
Mm.
space. And what she's saying is Bridgeport is not going after. So therefore,
Got it.
they're parking them here in Bridgeport. I know on the north end, the particular person lives here in the area that he parks over off of
Mhm.
Platt Street. So that person lives in the area. And I've seen it on off of Madison Avenue as well. They're parking them on, you know, the side streets, and then they walk to their residence. So we
Right,
just have
okay.
to see if there's an ordinance
see.
or look into it and then start. I think if the companies are being fined, then those individuals will be, you know, cited. So we
Yeah,
can go after the companies, and sometimes they're owner operated as well. So that's the
Right,
thing we have to
right.
look into as
mhm.
well.
So
I
it
mean,
sounds
I-
like they park anywhere it's available, right? Because
Well,
they,
wherever there's an open space that their
that's what I
trailer
mean,
can
wherever
fit.
there's an open space, because they know they may not be ticketed as fast as other
Well,
towns.
you know what? If one day they come back and the trailer's not there, then maybe they'll understand
Stop
that,
park,
you know, Bridgeport,
yeah.
right. Bridgeport's
If
not the place to keep doing it.
if you all drive through Bruce Boulevard, so if you go down Edwin Street and that turns into Bruce Boulevard, it's a whole, like, it's a creek down there, but they park down at that end, um, as if kids don't ride their bikes through there or they don't play through there. It's a residential area, but they park their tractor trailers down there and they just leave them. They leave them for
Mhm.
weeks.
Mhm.
They don't, they just sit there.
I
And
know.
I can't put a card on each truck that I see. I just happen to put it on that one because that particular truck that parks there obstructs the view coming. If you're taking that left from Florence Street onto Connecticut Avenue, you cannot see the oncoming traffic coming from Stratford, Bridgeport.
Well, I
Mhm.
know the commissioner, the chief did say that if it's obstructing traffic, they will. So we just have to, you know, get the word out for, you know, residents to take pictures and, you know, floodgate the, you know, the commissioner with that.
I will start taking pictures, Commissioner Williams, and I will start sending it to you all so that you all can see. It's like
Yeah,
every other week, this truck is parked over on the corner of Florence and Connecticut Avenue. And they also park on the sidewalk on Florence, right across from King's Food Pantry. And it makes it difficult for the individuals going to the pantry to get food because you have this tractor trailer parked there on the sidewalk, which is obstructing the sidewalk.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, because we
that's
can ride
dangerous.
by there and then they're gone. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like when you're sick, you go to the doctor, you feel better.
Yep. You're
We start
absolutely.
going by there and they're not there.
Mhm.
So if
Yeah.
pictures are being taken, then that's proof that, you know, this is happening.
I will most
Not-
definitely send you all
Not
pictures.
saying that, you know, we're not, I'm not saying that it's not happening, but you do need proof.
Yeah.
That they are constantly there. And just like when cars are parked in front of your house for more than 72 hours, you have a right to report it.
Mhm.
Right.
But I appreciate you all, and I will,
Also-
I'm sure the truck parked there. I'll send some pictures this evening to each and every one of you all. Or actually,
Thank you.
Hold on
I'll
one
send it
second.
to Lieutenant Lyons.
Hold on one
Yes.
second. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So I think you and I should talk offline, have a meeting with the chief, because honestly, it looks like to me that this is a council issue. Something that the council, if there's already an ordinance in place, then we need to
Mhm.
enforce the ordinance. If there's no ordinance in place, then the council should be addressing it. And then we can get some, you know, if it's not something that we can control other than traffic violations and everything, there's some type of ordinance that we need to change or start to enforce. We need to talk about that specifically. So let's have that conversation. But we've been having this conversation over and over and over again. I think Commissioner Lyons had brought this up a long time ago about them parking under the bridges and everything else.
Overpass. Mhm.
So,
Underpass.
so call me sometime this week if you like, and then we'll try to set something up with the chief. But I think what we really need to do is find out what rules are out there and what we're enforcing and not enforcing is what it really boils down to. And then, I mean, and if we have rules in place that are not being enforced, in between the council and the people in that community, they need to start showing up and pushing the issue. But
Yeah.
I mean, coming here every other month and talking about it right now, obviously is not doing what needs to be done. So let's try to do something different. Go ahead,
You're right.
Commissioner.
If I can add, they're not only just parking tractors with the boxes, they're taking the tractors off the boxes and leaving them underneath. I saw it on Fairfield Avenue, somewhere between Lafayette Circle and Park Avenue. They park underneath there by in the Lower East Side by Bass Pro. It's either East Main or Pembroke. They park underneath there. I'm speaking of the East End where Native represents. Williston Street has boats parked on the side on the streets. We're getting towards winter season. You know, I know we don't get the snow like we used to, but one good snowstorm, you can't pass through the streets. You can't plow. There should be, maybe the city can find a lot, such as where Bridgeport Machines used to be. There's 7 acres that he's trying to lease. The city should look at that spot and say, listen, if you're a resident of this city and you can show residency for a minimal fee or whatever, you can park your vehicle there overnight and come and get it and maybe gate it in. There's 7 acres there just sitting there doing nothing. Have areas. Catherine
That's ideal.
Main Street where
I agree.
Avenue starts, they park underneath there. There's got to be spots where these trucks can park because, like Anita says, they squeeze the streets, they obstruct views. I as a marshal, I drive all over the city. They're all over the place, why? Because they can, and no one's stopping them, which is okay until it becomes an issue. Until somebody with a bicycle or, like what Anita said, gets killed, then it becomes all right. Now something's got to be done. So before that happens, this should be acted upon pending, ordinances that are already in place.
I agree with what Commissioner Lyons is saying. And again, Councilwoman Martinez, this is something that maybe you can raise with the council too, in terms of this space or this lot that Commissioner Lyons is talking about. But like I said, call me during the week and let's strategize about it, because Tommy has been talking about this for a long time, and it keeps coming up and over again, but nothing's happening.
Yeah, Commissioner, can I just add to that we have been addressing this with the chief, and the chief apparently has been working with DC Baraha on a plan regarding this, and we haven't heard anything back. I'm the chair of ordinance, and I am revising the current ordinance that's in place. Our legislative director has it in her hands, and we are revising it, and I will communicate with you to send it to you, so that you can see what we have currently and where we're going with the changes that we're trying to make. But this is more of a policing issue. We can make the changes, but if they're not enforced, then we'll keep repeating this cycle.
I agree. Definitely a collective effort. And so I don't think it's a matter of council versus police commissioner or the police department. I think it's a matter of us addressing it as a collective and getting something done. And so if you guys have ordinances that you're putting in place and they're not being enforced, then we can address that on our end. But until the ordinances are in place to do whatever it is that needs to be done, and unless we do something like what Tommy's or Commissioner Lyons saying about creating a space for them, then I mean we got to be creative about this, and we have to work together to get it done. But talking about it every so many months is not doing anything for anyone. Until
I think the documents, the pictures will also support that argument as a matter of priority, because it's preventing, it's a liability issue. I mean, really, think about the death of some child over something that doesn't get addressed because we're short staffed. It needs to become a priority.
Well, thank you for your input. I don't know if anybody else has anything to add.
Thank you, Commissioner. I will send all pictures to Lieutenant Lyons, and she will direct everything to each and every one of y'all. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. All right. Old business, number 4A. We tabled it from July 16, 2024. A request from the city engineer's office not to approve the installation of a handicap parking sign at 116 Garden Drive. Just give
Commissioner,
me,
if I
Go
may.
ahead.
I have not yet, I know the commission wanted a letter from the landlord. I have not yet gotten one from her. I will say partly some of it's my fault. For 2 weeks, I was in court and I didn't even get to contact her. So I just wanted to put that out there that some of it is my fault because 2 weeks in prepping, because you know, city attorneys, and everything else, I didn't get to her. I got to her in the last week and a half. And so she has yet to get it to me, so.
All right,
We
thank you.
understand.
Gonna have to table it again, if that's the pleasure of the commission for you, Madam Chairperson. That's gonna be 2 Hail Marys and a mea culpa. So that's on you. All right, so what's your pleasure, commissioners? You want to table it again, or
Yeah, certainly.
I'll take a motion to table?
Yes.
You're making a motion, Commissioner? Cruz.
I'm sorry. Yes, I make a motion that we table it for the following month. Thank you.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. So we'll table that to the next meeting. We have no correspondence, no letters of appreciation, no widows' pensions. And then we have the recommendations of the city engineer at number 8. And so we have a request of the city traffic engineer's office to approve the following. So we have A 1 through 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one of them, and you can either make a motion to accept a request of the city engineer, or we can decide at that point whether or not we need to adjust one of them specifically. So I'm going to say, start with A1 or AI. We got to install crosswalks at Brewster Street and Ellsworth Street, and to relocate existing crosswalks and stop bars to meet the ADA requirements. Also to replace all stop signs and supplement them with all-way plaques. A2, we have to install no parking anytime parent loading zones at Colby Cathedral High School. The locations to be at 299 Washington Avenue, Washington, 10 feet past the school driveway to extend for 92 feet using 3 signs, and 33 Calhoun Place to begin 25 feet from the crosswalk at Washington Avenue to extend for 207 feet along Calhoun Place using 5 signs. And then we have A3, to install a handicap parking sign at 55 Allenson Road. We have A4, to install a handicap parking sign at 219 Remington Street. And then we have A5, to install emergency vehicle warning signs at Fire Station 12, 265 Beachmont Avenue, to be installed in both directions of Beachmont Avenue and Thorn Street, approximately 200 feet to 250 feet from the fire station. Any questions? Anyone want to break out any particular one of these, or anyone want to make a motion that we combine and accept the request of the city engineer?
Just want to say thank you to Lieutenant Lyons. I think that she provided all the supported documentation for the installation of these handicap signs. So I motion to approve.
Second,
I believe the motion on the floor is to combine and accept the request of the city engineers has been properly motioned and seconded. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes. Secondly, we have 8B, request of the city traffic engineer's office not to approve the following. So we have B1, to install a handicap parking sign at 1142 Howard Avenue. To install a B2, to install a handicap parking sign at 45 Renwick Drive. And B3, to install a multi-way stop at Ogden Street and William Street. Any questions, concerns?
I think, I'm not quite sure exactly the Ogden Street and William Street. I'm familiar with William Street, but why not? What's the issue with not installing the multi-way stop sign?
Say that again? I'm sorry. The last part?
What is
Yeah.
the issue with not installing the multi-way stop sign at Ogden Street and William Street? Number 3.
All right. Let me go back to it because I got a similar question from Commissioner Roach. She says studies showed lack of traffic to warrant multi-way signs.
It's my understanding that when Council President Nieves put in the request, she was using speed as a reason for the request, and the city engineers usually deny stop signs based on speed and solely just speed.
I kind of find it hard to believe that traffic on William Street is at a downside. That's a busy street. Other than
It certainly is coming from Boston Avenue, especially.
oh yeah, that whole stretch from William all the way down to East Washington Avenue. It's traffic all day.
Yeah,
Well-
we've had some serious accidents on William Street. I mean, it nowhere near Ogden maybe, but as a result of speeding.
And again, I think when they do these studies, because it said it was done in December 2023, they're doing it Monday through Friday. So it doesn't account for the traffic that comes on the weekends.
Or the midnight hour on Friday
Yeah,
evenings.
absolutely.
Mhm.
After hours. So,
I think according to the pictures, it looks like there are stop signs on William Street and not on Ogden.
Yeah, it looks like she's wanting signs on both corners. For all corners.
That's a congested area. Ogden, going east to west, is surrounded by Stillman, Shelton, Jane, Park Street.
Yeah, I
A
pass
lot
by
of-
there on occasion. Yes.
East side is busy. There's a lot of homes. There's a lot of people. I travel through there with work. There's always something going on. I mean, could it hurt to put a multi-stop
I
four-way?
don't think it, yeah, I don't think it would hurt.
I don't think it would hurt.
Hey, in one of the pictures, they have a towing, it's not a tractor trailer, but it's a towing thing there.
Hmm.
A vehicle.
A U-Haul?
No, it's a tow truck, like a long one.
Oh, am I looking at the right picture?
In one of the pictures, yeah.
It's like a little
The top
flatbed.
one or the bottom?
I like a flatbed one.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, we're on the tow truck. We're on the tractor trailer, so.
Yeah, that's just as bad, really. But so it sounds like what I'm hearing is that we want to reject the city engineer's request not to approve the multi-way stop at Ogden Street and William Street, because what I'm hearing is it doesn't make a difference one way or the other. I agree with Commissioner Lyons. It's extraordinarily congested down there, like trying to move. If there's traffic going in either direction, somebody's gonna have to stop and move to the side and wait and allow the other person, because it's those
Correct.
congested. And I don't see how anybody's speeding down there, but I don't doubt it. That becomes someone just simply breaking the law. I think that had very little to do with the ability to just kind of fly down there. It's just people driving recklessly, in my opinion. But it sounds like we're saying it can't hurt to have it. And if that's the case, then someone needs to make a motion that we reject the traffic engineers.
Okay, can we do that following approving the first two
And you can combine the first two and accept, and
altogether?
then object to, I mean,
Okay.
the motion exactly the way you want it.
Okay.
Let our commissioners either shoot it down or give you the thumbs up. How about?
So I make a motion that we approve the request from the city traffic engineer not to approve number 1 and 2, handicap parking at 1142 Howard Avenue, and handicap parking sign at 45 Rankwick Drive. In addition, I make a motion to not to approve installing a multi-way stop at Ogden Street and William Street.
And
So
to
I ask-
approve.
Second,
Wait,
All right, so it's been moved and properly seconded. All in favor?
aye,
aye.
Aye.
All right. That being said, I will, any questions, anything, anybody need, clerk, anything you need to add before we wrap up?
No, I sent you something earlier today, 77 Elmwood. I was going to try to get it on the agenda, but I needed updated information and I realized it didn't come and I just didn't put it on the agenda, so we'll save it for next month. Something that fell through the cracks back in May, unless you want to squeeze it on. It was, I mean, back in 2022, May of 2022, it never went in front of you guys.
Yeah,
Or-
I appreciate you mentioning that. I was wondering about that because I'm a little bit confused. I'm not quite sure which one is which. Because of the attachments, it appears that there's two different people.
So 77 Elmwood was originally entered in May of 2022.
Right.
Lieutenant O'Donnell did get the suggestion, but for whatever reason, it kind of fell through the cracks and never made it to you from what I could see. I believe it's the same person who put it in. The suggestion is to not install the handicap sign. I needed to get a new application from them because there's handicap placard has since expired. So I wanted a new application with the new updated placard information, which is why the second one came out today.
Oh, I see.
And then she also included in the second one, a landlord letter stating that the driveway is narrow. So they, it looks like that they denied installation because of access to a driveway. She says it's narrow and hard for her. And then the landlord letter on this, the one I sent today, also states that it's too narrow for her to get in and out of the car without difficulty because it's surrounded by fences on both sides.
You're finished.
So that being said, I mean,
Sorry.
if the commission wants to make a motion to add this to the agenda, we can do that. Otherwise, as Madam Clerk said, we can table it to the next meeting, but it's been outstanding and it looks like we have our paperwork in order. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
I have a question and forgive me for this, but just looking at this a little closer, the ID shows both names and one is the landlord's name. Am I seeing that wrong?
So
You're not saying that wrong. That's exactly what I see. That's why I was a
So
bit
how do
confused.
we read that? Is that one and the same or?
I think the landlord was providing his ID just for verification, maybe?
No, the
on
landlord's
the
name is on
application.
her ID.
Let me run that.
No, he also provided his driver's license.
Right, right. But what I'm saying is on the Connecticut driver's license ID that we have,
Mhm.
it says Jean,
Right.
right?
Joseph
And
James.
it says
Uh-huh.
Arlene Thompson.
Right, his name's on the application as well. You're right, that
Yeah,
doesn't.
so I'm like, how does that work? They're the landlord, or I don't know how to read it. I've
The
never
landlord wants
seen
to use
that.
the handicap parking space.
I've never seen like somebody else's name on, oh, that's her name.
That's her name. That's her full
That's her
name.
name. That's
That's
her
her full name.
Arlene Thompson.
Good night, Luke.
Okay, so Jean is maybe her married name?
Oh, I see what you're
Jean
saying.
Franciscos? Is that her married name?
Jean Francois.
Francois? Okay, I'm sorry.
Francois Arlene Thompson.
So her actual license does say Arlie Thompson, Jean Francois. It does say all
Right.
the names on it. So
Hmm.
I,
All the names.
even
Right,
though
so-
his name says, or I think that's her name. So Joseph Jean Francois is the one that wrote it. So I'm not sure his relationship though.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's,
I know,
And it's
it's a
the
valid
same
question.
address.
I wanna, Lieutenant Lyons, the handicap parking permit holder, I got a copy of two different numbers. Is one expired and the other one
Right,
is a new one?
Yes.
yes.
So,
Got it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, again,
The only question I would have is the relationship, but at the end of the day, it's either accessible or it isn't.
correct.
So
Correct. I mean, I'm okay with that, but it's, you know, it just seems like if they're married, you know what I'm saying? And
Well-
why wouldn't you just say your wife needs a handicap?
I can't say that they are or not, but
No, I'm not saying they are, but it's kind of,
According to Vision, Joseph is the owner of that house. I don't know their relationship, but I just pulled it up on the City of Bridgeport website. So Joseph,
I believe the names are very common in the Haitian community, so they
Gene.
don't have
He's
to
not
even
Haitian.
be, they don't even have to be related if I've had customers with the same name, no relation, live in the same house.
Well, you know what, even if they are, he's the landlord, right? And I think he's just supporting her, because if the driveway is too narrow for her to get in and out of the car, then he's supporting the
makes
fact that
sense.
she needs a handicap parking space,
He's not saying she can't park there, just saying
Right.
that it's difficult.
right? So I would make a motion,
just-
we need
just
to make a
looking at-
motion to add it.
I
Yeah.
would need more information on this because on the letter it says Arlene Thompson. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I see. He made it brief.
That's all I'm saying. But her ID clearly states the same
Full
name.
name.
Correct, the full name.
Mm-hmm.
but I mean,
Maybe
she's
he
the.
was just using,
I guess I'm a little confused, but she's the applicant,
yeah.
and so I guess I'm a little confused by.
She's the applicant and he didn't use her name in the body of the letter. The last two names, Jean
Correct. It
Francois.
just put the one name.
He just said Arlene Thompson. He didn't even say Arlene, he said Arlene.
it is a relative according to a quick people search. Arlie Tom.
Look,
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the bigger question is, and you guys vote however you want to vote, but I guess the bigger question is, if it's my sister and she's renting the first floor and she had a stroke and she can't get out of her car, do I really want to do a forensic to determine whatever it is we're trying to determine at this point? But
I think the question is is it necessary for him to identify that he's her husband or she's his wife?
I don't think it
He's-
really matters.
No, right. To me, it doesn't.
If there's a need, the need is there. Can we satisfy the need or not? Do we decide that there is a need or not?
Well, first we have to make a motion to add it to the agenda. Am I correct, Commissioner?
that is correct.
in all fairness, what we've done in the past is if they have a driveway,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we've done in the past. If they have a driveway, the landlord has to say she does not have permission to park in the driveway.
Correct. In this case, he
just-
used a different description. He didn't say.
Yeah,
you
he's
can't.
saying
He
there is
said it's-
permission, she
he said
can't
it's too
fit.
narrow for her to get it in and out of the car without difficulty, because it's
Correct. And
surrounded by a
we
fence on both
denied,
sides.
we denied a parent who had a handicapped son and she had a driveway and she had a vehicle that couldn't get in and open the door, and we denied it. That's all I'm saying. And I just was making reference to the name
Got it.
because if you're going to put a request in, do it correctly. That's all I'm
I don't-
saying.
I don't recall that one, but I mean, you have a valid point. It sets a precedent if we're turning down someone. And this one is very similar. I mean, I don't recall the one you're
I-
referencing.
But I don't remember the outcome of that particular situation. I
We
do
we always expect the landlord to justify whether or not they can park or not park in the
Correct.
driveway. And in this
Correct.
case, he's saying she cannot. It makes it very difficult.
I have
Um,
no idea how to share my screen. So we're gonna old school it right now.
Well, hold on.
Well,
Let's,
You click a
before-
button.
Oh,
Awesome.
this isn't working?
That is perfect.
It
I
is
love
perfect.
So,
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's real narrow. For
It is
somebody to come
tight.
out with a walker?
this is the house here, this yellow house.
Yes, but that's the driveway, right? That's
Yes,
fenced on both sides?
yes.
Yeah.
I think the fence ends here on this side.
Mm-hmm. So they will pull in right there and then walk around to the front, right?
No, but
Because it
that's
looks
to
like it's
close
blocked.
the gate. That
Yeah,
closes
that's
the
the
gate.
closed gate.
Right, so
Yeah.
there's room behind, where those other two
Yep, I
cars
see
are.
that. No, I see that. I see that. Yes,
So
you're right.
there's plenty of room to open the door.
They need to accommodate her there and they park in the other side
Exactly.
behind her. Well, the proof is in the pudding. I think
You're
that's
back.
why pictures are perfect.
I'm gonna figure out how to share a screen next time.
You hit
did
the share
fantastic.
button. Don't you
Yeah,
have the
I know,
share
it's not
button?
as
The
easy
green button
sometimes.
on the bottom?
I'm sure she does.
I'll find it. I'll have Dolores help me out.
It says share
I'm-
screen on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's
The whole thing. So here's the deal. We're gonna make a motion either to table it or to add it to the agenda, but I know that we need to go down. And thank you, Madam Clerk, for sharing your screen.
Commissioner Farrell, I think we can make a motion to add it because we've already discussed it. So we can add it and then we can table it because I like to go there and talk to them myself. Like, what's wrong with this picture?
I don't care. Whatever we're doing, we need to do because our meeting was over 10 minutes ago. But so somebody looking to add it.
That's Madam Clerk, not us.
No, she.
I make a motion to add
Yes, that'd be great.
So
So
the Linwood, is it?
Elmwood,
Elmwood
Elmwood.
116. No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
77.
Yeah, I thought it's
77
77.
Elmwood Place.
Elmwood.
Yep.
Mhm.
I make a motion to add it and table it for more updated information.
All right, you're making a motion to open it or add it.
To add it, I make a motion to add it
That's
And
it.
table it.
to the, okay,
Ash. So if someone second to adding it, and then we could table it if you
Second,
want. All right. So
All in
we add
favor?
it, table it. So, all right. And then you're making a motion again, Commissioner Williams, to table this discussion.
yes,
second,
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Well, let's take the next most crucial motion of the night, and that's a motion to adjourn, which I will
So
accept.
moved.
I have a,
Second.
Got a
move.
and I got two motions in 3 seconds. All
Aye.
Thank you. Aye.
aye.
all right, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. Have a full rest of your evening.
Thank you, you guys.
Good night.
Thanks.
Happy birthday,
Listeners, Have a
Tom.
good night.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
Happy
Tom,
belated,
Birthday
Tom.
to you.
Wait, when's your birthday?
Mine was Sunday and Hector was a couple days before. It was a big birthday.
Happy birthday to you
Commissioner
too.
Birthday.
Diaz.
And
You
mine's
wanna make sure
Thursday.
they know I'm getting old
Oh,
too.
happy
Yours is
We're
birthday.
both getting old.
Mine
We're
is
both
Happy
getting-
birthday, Lieutenant.
Look at the
Thank you.
three trios on the
Thank you,
bottom.
Commissioner
Happy birthday,
Tom.
guys.
All right,
Happy
take care,
birthday,
Enjoy.
guys.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Enjoy.
Be blessed.